You're new to pneumatics. You figured out that the modern air rifle is an amazing instrument. This is the new user guide to the Wildcat and the Maverick. Consider it a virtual manual, if you will, that's going to go over all the basics about how to use your new rifle. So why are we talking about the Wildcat and Maverick together? Well, those rifles are very similar. Essentially, the Wildcat has a stock, the Maverick doesn't. If you know one rifle, you know the other. So this is a guide for both of those together. So first off, what do you get? This is a Maverick sniper. Now notice I have this scoped already, so the scope doesn't come with it. You'll need to buy that separately, though a lot of dealers will mount it and zero it in for you. So the Maverick comes in a nice hard case, so does the Wildcat. You get a nice manual, please read it, and then you get a magazine and a Foster female fill port. So we'll show you about those. So that's what you're getting with the rifle. All right, as far as barrel lengths, you have a 700 that you see here, and keep in mind the Maverick is a bullpup, right? So the barrel goes all the way back to that breech back here. So that's a 700 millimeter. You have a 600 and a 500. So multiple barrel lengths available in 177, 22, 25, and 30 caliber. If you're shooting pellets, any of those barrel lengths will shoot them pretty much all the same. But the longer the barrel is really going to help if you're interested in doing slugs eventually, because slugs, that longer runway is going to help get higher velocities that are needed. On the Maverick Sniper, we have a 580cc bottle. This fills up to 250 bars, so you get a lot of shots there. On the compact, that comes with a 300cc bottle because of the shorter length. So a lot of different options. It really comes down to how many, shot count, what you want to shoot, what caliber. The bigger the caliber, the more air you're going to shoot. The smaller the caliber, the higher the shot count. So it's just about determining what configuration you're looking for. So this is the Wildcat, and with the Wildcat, now this is a 500 millimeter. The difference here is you see this is a cylinder rifle, so a smaller reservoir, and the cylinder is much cheaper than the bottle. So again, it's just about options and how you want to shoot. There is a bottle version of the Wildcat available as well. So same calibers, 177 up to 30, all the barrel lengths, essentially all the same system, but this one has this nice grippy ambidextrous synthetic stock. Beautiful rifle. One of my favorite stocks. It's so well balanced, so that's a great option. So let's get to know how you're going to use your Maverick or Wildcat. Really, it starts with putting air in the rifle. So on the Maverick and the Wildcat BT, or the bottle version of the Wildcat, you have a male Foster quick disconnect there. You're going to remove your dust cover, and that's how you're going to fill the rifle. Now on this side of the rifle, you have a gauge, and that shows your bottle pressure of the Maverick. So these fill up to 250 bar, and there's really two ways that people are using to fill their rifles. One approach is to get a big carbon fiber tank that you go refill from a dive shop or an airgun store, or from a home compressor, one of the bigger home compressors. That works great, or more and more people are buying their personal, more portable compressors. You can plug these compressors into any outlet, 110, or you can actually connect them to a car battery. So it's like a portable compressor you can take with you. Great options to fill your rifle. So on either your bottle or your compressor, you're going to have a fill hose or fill whip. One of the things I'll mention is they come with this really basic Foster female quick disconnect. And we include in the all of our rifles this more updated Foster female quick disconnector. So that it's easier to grab. It's not going to make a difference on the Maverick or the Wildcat BT, but some of the rifles, if you don't have this on there, it's going to be a hard time getting it on or off. So how it works, I get that Foster female, attach it to the male, put it on until it clicks, and this is important. You always want to pull and make sure that's really secure. If this was only kind of half on and I thought it was on and I turned on my air, that would flip out, maybe hit me in the face, cause an injury. So you want to make sure it's nice and tight on there. At this point, I turn on my compressor, close my bleed valve, or use the tank and essentially fill it with air, watching the gauge on the other side till it gets to 250 bar. Shut things off, and then always make sure you bleed the valve before releasing that fill hose. Now, if you purchase the Wildcat Standard, meaning not the bottle version, it's a different way of filling that rifle. In your case, you will get a rifle probe that you're going to screw on the end of that fill hose, and to fill it, you basically turn this dust cover till you expose the hole, plug that in, and then the same process as far as filling the rifle. So just a slight difference there. Simple. All right, now that you have air in your rifle, I'm going to show you how to load your magazine. So this is a standard side shot magazine. Side shot meaning it's really easy to load. What you do is you turn this toggle lever, remove the side of the magazine. Now I'm exposing the inside. It's a tension spring system, so I'm going to just rotate that inner wheel, put tension on it. I'm going to put my finger underneath the hole for the first pellet I put in there, because that first pellet will actually hold the tension as I load the rest. So I put that first one in, and then you can see there, holds tension. Now I just finish simply loading the pellets. Let's see, one more here. Grab the magazine lid, put that on top, line it up there, and then turn that toggle, 2 clicks, fully loaded magazine. Now, how to get it inside the rifle. I got a fully loaded magazine, I'm in a studio, so I'm not gonna actually load it with the actual pellets. I have a dummy mag though, so I can show you how to load it. So the rifle itself is a bullpup, meaning the barrel goes all the way to the back and the action is back here. So how I'm gonna load the magazine is I'm gonna open the breech by pulling that cocking lever all the way back. I'm gonna take my magazine, slide it in there, then I'm gonna close the cocking lever, and now I've pushed that pellet or slug into the chamber. That means this rifle is ready to shoot. And that's why, again, with air guns, it's just like firearms. Always assume the rifle is loaded, should always be on safe, and this means that you really don't put the magazine until you're ready to actually shoot the rifle. Now to remove the magazine, same process. I'm gonna open the cocking lever, remove the magazine from the breech. Now at this point, I've just cocked the rifle, so I need to decock it. So what I do is I'm putting my left hand in front of that cocking lever, put it on fire. I'm gonna pull the trigger and that's gonna release that cocking lever, put it all the way back, put it back on safe. We're good. Now here's a note of something that will happen to you at some point of owning your rifle. It's very common, but if you're aware of it, then you can avoid it. So as I'm shooting the rifle, let's say I cock the rifle, I got a pellet in the chamber, I'm ready to go, but I get distracted and I forget that I've already cocked the rifle. So I pull it back again. Now I'm pushing a second pellet or slug into the chamber and I've double loaded my rifle. At this point, no big deal. I just need to shoot the rifle because it has enough pressure to get rid of 2 rounds in the chamber. The other thing you'll notice if you're about to double load is that I go to cock the rifle and there's no resistance, meaning the rifle's already cocked. I'll realize I already have something in the chamber. At this point, freeze, leave the cocking lever out, remove the magazine so I don't double load it, and then close the cocking lever and fire as usual. And if I was wrong and there's nothing in the chamber, no big deal. I can dry fire the rifle without it harming anything. Okay, moving back to the Maverick, I want to show you the features of the rifle, which are the same between both rifles with the exception of that stock and the fill port for the standard Wildcat. So on the back of each of the rifles, you have this hammer adjuster. Hammer adjuster, essentially, when you cock the rifle, you're pulling back a hammer, and then when you pull the trigger, that hammer goes forward, and depending on how much tension is on there, it opens the valve. So this really determines how much air is going down the barrel. So to increase it or decrease it changes your velocity. So with this, it's just a quick power adjuster. One thing I'll note, you'll see knobs like this and you'll want to start messing with them. Don't initially, because it's been tuned from either the dealer or from the factory, and you should just get the recommended pellet, start shooting, get to know your rifle. Definitely take note of what it is, and then you can start messing around. This is a quick, easy adjustment. The other adjustment that is on here, you actually have 2 regulators on this rifle. So what happens is you have your pressure here, and there's a regulator right inside that stem that takes that initial pressure off of that. You really don't need to adjust it, though there is that ability here. And then the back regulator that's inside this tube, you have an adjustment just right there. So you can adjust those down the line. Like I said, don't mess with this for now. This is later on if you change calibers or you're moving to slugs or something that really needs that adjustment. But from the factory, you should be good to go. Outside of that, you're showing your pressure from the tank. You have your regulator pressure. That means the pressure that's going to be used in the shot. So really, that's the adjustments on your rifle. Oh, the trigger, you can actually adjust that. From the factory, it comes as a 16-ounce 2-stage trigger, but you can adjust that down to a 1-stage or make it heavier or lighter. Your manual will show you how to do that. As far as accessories, especially the Maverick is begging for other accessories. There's a lot of third-party accessories. There's extended rails, extended top rails, butt pads, cheek risers. You can change grips. So there's a lot of ways to make it yours, to customize it, tailor fit to your style of shooting. As far as the Wildcat, there's less kind of customizable accessories because you have this great ambidextrous stock that is just such a great balance feel. I mean, you're basically balanced right there in the center. You can do, there's some things with the rear cheek piece, and obviously on both these rifles, you can add a moderator. As far as the scope, I would suggest either medium rings or high rings. Lower rings will be just too small for that cheek weld. And as far as FX accessories, if you go into shooting slugs, which would be more for the 600 and 700 length, you can add a slug power kit, tungsten hammer, things like that. Again, just shoot pellets for now. Later on, you can go down to that rabbit hole, because when you're shooting slugs, you'll have to switch out the liner. Easily done, but don't worry about that for now. Enjoy your rifle, whether it's the Wildcat or Maverick. These are 2 of the greatest bullpups made. They're incredible rifles. Way to go. You got yourself a world-class airgun. Now go have fun.